Hello everyone, today we would like to present a project named Boring Online Classes. Let's make a switch. First and foremost, before I go on, I would like to introduce to you our team. We are a team of 3 people that comes from Pinghua High School in Klang. I am Fiona and I'm a senior 1 student, while my teammates Caleb and Kok Ming are senior 2 students. So you might be wondering, why this topic? Well, in this pandemic, online classes have become a norm, but the effectiveness of online classes still remain as a huge problem that troubles numerous students and teachers. Therefore, as students ourselves, we do have the urge to share about this issue we have encountered personally. In this project, we tend to discuss several solutions for problems happening in online classes by looking into different aspects, which includes the roles of students and teachers, hoping to make online classes a better learning environment. And that's where our topic came from. Boring online classes? Let's make a switch! Here's our timeline for the project. On week 1, we did our initial planning and we prepared for our proposal submission to week 2. Then we did our secondary planning on week 3 and carried out with slides preparation plus information gathering. We did these final preparations till week 6, where the recording for our presentation took place.
As we can see, these are the data we have from survey form that we handed out to students and teachers for the past few weeks. So let us look at the data right now. As we know, there are over 100 of responses from students and teachers, and there are 89 responses from students, and most of them, over 50% of them, say that they have online classes average from 7 to 9 hours per day. And as we can see, this is actually a very long period of time to learn online. And as we can know, students will definitely feel very, very stressed and fatigued and tired because they learn for so long, from 7 to 9 hours mostly. Next, we can see, how do you find online classes from a rate from 1 to 5? Do you feel it's good or not so good? So averagely, everyone chose 3, which is average, so they don't feel much about how good are online classes. All right, next. Which of the situations below have students faced due to online classes? As we can see, most students, they have eye soreness, back pain, they cannot concentrate during class, and they think class is boring and whatsoever.
Now let's talk about the current situation of online classes. Students get bored and tiring due to hours and hours of looking at our own computer screens, and we are forced to sit on our chairs and just listen, and we can't do much interaction with our teachers, and it's just so boring. And we are given way too many assignments compared to hybrid classes, and it's just so stressful because we can't do any group discussing or group projects with our friends. And during online classes, we just can't resist the temptation to just close our eyes.
Now let's see from the data that we have from teachers. Okay, so teachers indicate that most of them, which are 46.7% of teachers, they have 4 to 6 hours they teach 4 to 6 hours of online classes every day, and some of them they teach 1 to 3 hours. But from what we can tell, that teachers, the period that teacher teach is actually it is shorter than students. So you can see that actually teachers, they use lesser time to teach students and sit in front of the computers. Next, besides the main platforms used for virtual classes online, are there any other tools that teachers would use during online classes? Over 50%, which is 56.7% of teachers, said no, which means they don't use any other platforms like, for example, Quizzes, Kahoot, and whatsoever. They actually do not use these platforms to enhance the effectiveness of online teaching. Besides the pie chart that we saw just now, this bar chart actually shows that teachers find online classes also average, the same as students. Maybe they don't feel too good or too bad. They just feel average about online classes. And lastly, teachers also experience a lot of mental issues like eye soreness, back pain, and some of them, 26, which is a majority, they said students are not responsive to the teacher's questions. So they actually feel that online classes are not so effective compared to physical classes, because they feel that students might not be paying attention in class. And the rest all say that they also experience physical problems and issues that they could not cooperate. Students do not cooperate with the teachers, and so on.
Now let's move on to the next part, which is the teacher's point of view. The teachers feel like they are very stressful because they need to prepare teaching materials for their students, each classes, and they need to be interesting and different from each one. But they feel like their students aren't being appreciative enough to their hard work. And the next point, they say that their students won't on their webcam even though they are asked. Even though the students are forced, they aren't afraid, they won't on their webcam. And so moving on from this, the teachers, they feel demotivated to carry on and felt like it isn't worth it to put more energy in due to the students not responding to the questions properly and not paying back enough effort from what they have given out. So in a nutshell, the questions are: how can teachers conduct online classes more interestingly and effectively? What are the main barriers that students feel they face in getting fully connected during online classes, and how can we reduce the negative impact on our health from long time online classes? So our goal for this project is to solve the issues above, the issues that we mentioned, and implement fun elements in classes so that online classes won't be boring anymore.
Firstly, I will speak from the teacher's point of view. Due to the limitations of technology, online classes may not be as effective as physical classes. Hence, students won't be able to learn efficiently because there are some subjects, as stated in this slide, that require physical training or demonstrations which online classes cannot provide. In order to curb this issue to the most, social interaction between teachers and students should be increased so that students get enthusiastic in the lesson and will be more than willing to cooperate with the teacher. Moreover, the students' opinions and reviews are generally important for teachers to improve their online teaching methods. So teachers should enhance two-way communication and increase their interest in the lessons in order to let online classes be more effective. Secondly, I'll be elaborating some points on what students will face during online classes and how to prevent them. Although students will be able to learn peacefully while they sit down on their comfortable chairs and enjoy the breeze from their air conditioners, students will easily get fatigued and lose enthusiasm towards the lesson due to staring at their computers for many, many hours. Henceforth, students should encourage self-discipline in themselves because there can be many distractions at home, such as the television, foods, and of course, mobile phones. Students will also need to have the ability of managing time properly because students should be able to maintain a consistent schedule or maybe a daily checklist to ensure that everything will be done in the right time. And in such a short time, they will have to be able to complete as many work as possible. Now I will elaborate the points on the aspect of health on how long-term online classes can affect the students negatively and how we can reduce these impacts to the most. Online classes may bring a lot of negative impacts to students, and one of them especially is called stress and anxiety. Due to what we have is called MCO right now, students may not be able to find closer friends or even family that they can speak their true feelings to. So they will feel stressed and introverted because they have no one to talk to and no one to express their feelings to, especially in such an isolated generation right now. Numerous studies has also shown social isolation can cause a lot of mental issues and physical health also. And of course, by sitting in front of the computer for so long and sitting on the hard chair for so long, we can develop a lot of physical issues such as eye problems, fatigue, and of course back problems, spine problems, and many whatsoever. Other studies have also shown that face-to-face interactions between friends, teachers, students, or maybe parents can help to reduce our depression and anxiety levels. Regular sleep amounts are also very important, very essential for us maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
Now, the question is, are there any fun learning tools that we can implement in our online classes? We are more than glad to say that the answer is yes! Firstly, we have Edmodo. Edmodo is an educational tool that connects teachers and students. Teachers can use this platform to create collaborative groups, provide learning materials, communicate with parents, and so on. There are so many users on this platform which enriches our learning process. And then we have Project. Project allows us to create multimedia presentations which can be embedded with fun elements. Isn't that great? And we also have Tinkling. Tinkling allows teachers to create multimedia images, and this offers teachers a chance to stimulate the curiosity and interest of their students. We do also have a few quiz platforms that we highly encourage teachers to use in their teaching process. This is to examine whether students have truly absorbed the lesson taught, and we are certainly sure that students will enjoy the animations built in most of these platforms. These quiz platforms are Quizlize, Socrative, GoConQR, Quizzes, and Kahoot.
As our project emphasizes the importance of online classes, the impacts, no matter positive or negative, towards students and teachers, while explaining the methods of how we can be able to curb this issue to the max. We may never know when we could go back to online classes, and as we are moving on towards a new generation where technological development is unavoidable, we should learn online formality right now in order to seize the problems and have it solved firsthand. We hope that our project will be able to help the community by stating the vital roles of students and teachers by improving virtual education the best we can. meanwhile having students be able to grow up to be future leaders and major contributors to the society one day. And that is our end of our presentation. Thank you for listening and hope that it's been great listening to what we have to say about this topic.